Husband, 40 meters, refuses to cook for children. How do I get him to help me? 40F. Somehow I am default chef. We both work full-time. He gets mad when I leave dishes out or any mess in the kitchen. So now I am stuck doing both cooking and cleaning of kitchen. Plus he only goes to grocery store when I give him a list, so I also need to be responsible for knowing the pantry inventory. I'm not sure how we evolved to this, but anytime I suggest he help with X meals per week or try to break up the work, he gets very defensive and goes on and on about how much he already does. Any suggestions? I would like to not resent him so much. Fair play cards. I also remember a comment from another post, where the woman dropped comments to her partner when he went into weaponized incompetence mode. Every time he acted helpless, she'd say something like, "So not sexy," or, "Are you this incompetent when you're at work?" Quote, I don't know how you can stand it. There is absolutely no way I could put up with that. You don't get him to help you, because chores and childcare is just as much his job as yours. So he doesn't need to help you, which implies it's only your job. He needs to step up and take on half the chores and be a damned parent. If he refuses, how can you stay with someone like that? He obviously doesn't love you, or he wouldn't be okay with you shouldering the entirety of the burden. Go on strike. Literally. The children can live on PBJ if needed. He's forcing you to be the household manager and the default cook and cleaner. It's well known that women in heterosexual relationships often take on far more than their fair share of household and child-related labor. Unmarried women literally have a higher life expectancy. Right now you've got a teenager basically. He can and does pull his own weight sort of. Sometimes. With explicit directions and expectations. Couples counseling is a good idea. Ultimately this will make the relationship impossible. It's hard to be intimate with someone when they basically make more work for you and make your job 10x harder. This is why marriage benefits men over women. We overwhelmingly shoulder the mental and physical load of the household. If he's refusing marriage counseling, you're stuck unless you find a way to leave. Stop cooking for him if he's not going to contribute equally to your household. Also, he can do his own laundry. Assign him one night a week to plan, shop for, prepare and clean up dinner. If he goes on and on, leave the room or wear noise-canceling headphones. If he doesn't prepare dinner on his day, take the children out for dinner. Get an activity for yourself once a week, join a gym or book club. Take a cooking class. Learn knitting or chess or bridge. Take up dance or running or karate. Go to the library or Starbucks. Leave husband to feed kids, you eat out or take a sandwich. After 2 months, make him responsible for Saturday lunch. He probably needs to hear this from a third party. Maybe someone close whose opinion he values. Or a counselor that can give him a reality check. But if the issue continues, what's the plan then? Stop feeding him until he starts pulling his share of the load. Cook for yourself and the kids and let him fend for himself. If he pitches a hissy about the dirty dishes, hand him a sponge and a bottle of dish soap and leave him to it. Does he do anything else with the kids, or is he just useless all around? When he gets defensive, stay on point and don't engage with what he is saying or deflecting. I would appreciate if you cook dinner on X date. He, blah blah. I would appreciate if you cook dinner on X date. I'm cooking every other day. He, blah blah. I would appreciate if you cook dinner on X date. I cannot do it and the kids need to eat. Are you feeding them on X date? Then? I saw he tells you BS that other moms do all the cooking. It's pure BS. And you also work full time. You aren't a stay-at-home mom. My dad always cooked too and still does. He makes things from scratch like bread, rolls pasta, vegetables, tries new recipes. He actually taught my mom the basics because she had never cooked when they got married. She then learned by getting recipes from my grandma and watching cooking shows and trying recipes from magazines. My husband did this and more to me many years ago. I had spent 5 years working 6,080 hours weeks. I was trying to get a down payment for a house, then trying to sleep, cook for my kids, do my kids' laundry, stay on top of housework. I burned out. I took my vacation, 3 weeks. I told him and my kids, who were tweens, if I am going to be treated like a maid, I'm not working. Then told my husband he can pay for everything. Husband did a lot of fast talking and convinced me to go back to work. He works retail. I made more at the time. I went back. No, I never told him I was on vacation, and things were only good for a couple days. I bought a lot of ramen and mac and cheese. That's all I made for a month. My youngest asked to learn to cook. My oldest started living off PBJ and Hubs got sick of ramen. I cut down my days to part-time after a month of going back. Told my Hubs again I am not a maid. He actually said okay and started working out the finances. Life got a lot better. I no longer do everything. Everyone helps where they can. My Hubs refused therapy. His mom was a psalm. It's been 10 years since cutting down to part-time. I have no regrets. At least make him clean the kitchen if he refuses to cook. Please don't waste any of your time gentle parenting this child into becoming an adult. Truly. Like the amount of stuff I see on here with women strapped down by poorly socialized men who essentially go straight from the breast of their mothers to their new wives. GFS is nauseating. Your frustration with the mental load is valid. Look into The Mental Load, a comic by Emma. There's also a great article titled, "She Divorced Me Because I Left Dishes by the Sink." I can't speak to your individual situation, but you stated somewhere that your husband would just let the kids go hungry rather than feed them. I'm paraphrasing here. I don't understand that. You and your children deserve better. He sounds like a deadbeat dad looking for excuses to not even feed his kids. You're not asking him to help you. You're asking him to shoulder his responsibilities. Everyone who lives in this house contributes to the upkeep and maintenance. Have you told him this is causing resentment? That this affects your feelings towards him? Teaching your children life skills should happen regardless of your husband's inability to understand and consider his wife. He is very selfish and self-centered. He's not showing much to your children by his actions. When you both work full-time, home duties should be 50-50. Children need to be a part of that as well. Draw up a list with your name one side and his the others and list what is actually done and how many times a week per day. Work with facts. My husband works 2x as many hours as me, so I try and clean, shop and cook more. A couple days ago he made me sit down after I cooked dinner so he could clean because he wanted to help. Good men are out there, but it seems so many are babied to the point where they can't wipe their own ass, let alone their babies, after a hard day's work. It should be 50-50. Some days more, some days less. He is not really pulling his own weight, and as far as paying the bills with online banking and auto pay, it's not that difficult. Try marriage counseling and come up with a plan B.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.